Hi everyone, Rainey here. It is August 11th, 2020, which means, yes, we're still in the middle of a nationwide pandemic. So I am about to start round 3 of ProLon. So in today's video, I'm going to kind of go over how round 2 went, give a little bit of a comparison to round 1, and then talk about some tips and tricks I learned along the way. So if you haven't already gotten a chance, go ahead and check out my first video with round 1 of ProLon, and I'll be giving you updates about round 3 coming soon. Alright, so my ProLon kit has finally arrived just in time for coronavirus season. So we're basically going to self-isolate for 5 days and see how supercharged our immune systems are when we're done. So on the inside, you're gonna find all of your meals numbered 1 through 5, nice and organized like I like it. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at day 1. This is breakfast. You have your 2 alga oil pills, you have an L-bar, and you have your lemon tea. So that's day 1 breakfast. I really actually do like these. So here we have the minestrone soup, and if you look on the back, you'll see that this is one of the soups that you actually have to cook on the stovetop. I'm assuming that's because of nutritional purposes, but they tell you on every package whether it's stovetop or you have the option of microwave. So just make sure you're following that to the T. So what I like to do is use a smaller saucepan, and that is mainly to make sure that I get as much of the soup as possible. And if you first open your package, you're going to see that there's a lot of vegetables in there, kind of like freeze-dried, and then you've got a lot of your veggie soup powder too. So I like to use a measuring cup just to make sure I'm getting the right amount. And depending on the soup, I like to pour a little bit of extra water in. For the minestrone soup, I'm going to just stay at 1.5 cups, but I think the recommended amount is 1 1/4 cups. And then I just kind of pour in a little bit, and then I like to use a whisk just to make sure I'm getting all of the powder mixed in, and you're going to end up with a little bit of a paste. So just make sure you mix in a little bit of water at a time, and then use your whisk, and then just double check to make sure the powder is all incorporated. Okay, so as you can see, it's definitely boiling here. You're gonna wanna mix it every once in a while just to make sure that you're not getting any clumps. I like to use a whisk just because it makes sure that all the powder is gone. But if you do what I did in the beginning and you just kind of mix in a little bit of water at a time, you should get basically everything. So as you can see, it's getting a little bit thicker. It's looking more like a soup. So in a couple minutes, I'm just gonna take it off, and bon appetit. Right, so as you can see, you do end up with a nice little bit of soup here. It's almost a full cup, or a little over a full cup actually. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take my NR1 pills, and also I think I'm gonna dig into these kale crackers a little bit, and then I'll probably save the olives for later because I'm not feeling terribly hungry yet, but we will see. So the kale crackers situation is pretty nice. So as you can see, you get about, 4 crackers total. So that's just enough for my soup. I think, again, I'm gonna just have 2 now, and then maybe save the rest for the tomato soup. And that should be all good. What I like about these is that they're like very thick. You definitely get that nice like texture. And as you can see, it's very full of grains, so I'm sure there's a lot of nourishment in this, and that's really what you feel when you eat them too. So you can eat them solo, or you can eat them in your soup. I prefer to do a little bit of both just so I can get some variety, especially on those days where that's really all you get. All right, so for snack today, it looks like on the menu we have this tea. Go ahead and reach and grab that out. And I chose to save the spearmint tea because that's my favorite. And then in addition to that, we have the L-Bar, and that's the Choco Crisp L-Bar. So it's a little bit smaller. It's like half the size, but definitely a lot of bang for your buck here. It's really good. And then since we are allowed to vary like within the days, I chose to keep some of the olives just because I felt like that was a lot of food for lunch. And so I still have a full pack of olives, so I'm gonna go ahead and snack on that. And in addition to that, I'm gonna have some tea. And then day one is almost over. All right, so we are nearing the end of day one of the ProLon diet, and so far so good. I do miss cooking a little bit, but you know, for health benefit purposes, I guess it's a pretty good trade-off, and it's only for 5 days. So last step is the tomato soup, and I went ahead and I left back the like 3 of the crackers. I think it had 5 in there actually, nice surprise. And then I left back half of like the chocolate bar, because why not? So we're gonna go ahead and cook the soup and we'll see how it goes. So this soup you can actually do in the microwave, but I tend to like stovetop better. Maybe that's because I'm more of a cook, but I'm just gonna go ahead and pour that in. Make sure you get all that powdery goodness out and into the pot. And again, I'm going to make sure that I add in a little bit of water at a time, just making sure that all the powder's mixed in before adding a little bit more, and then just using my whisk to double check that all the powder is mixed in. Since I really like the tomato soup, I'm going to add a little bit more water than the recommended amount, and that'll just help with feeling full after the meal. Another one of the pro tips that I picked up here is that you can actually add certain spices and herbs to your soups to make it a little bit more interesting. It's a pretty specific list, so I'll go ahead and post that down below. All right, so today's day 2 of ProLon. So far I'm not feeling too crappy. To be honest, I feel pretty normal, which I guess is to be expected. Just because I usually don't eat until around 11 anyway. But we'll see how today goes. Today's actually my favorite day, and you'll see why in a second. So let's go ahead and get unpacked and see what we have. They give you this little bottle, and this is like your energy supplement for the day basically. So it doesn't really taste like anything, I don't think, but it does, if you look closely, it does provide like 25 calories, and it's supposed to provide you with a little bit more energy. And if you look on the side, it actually goes by weight. So I'll show you how to get this started. It looks like the ingredients are really purified water, vegetable glycerin, natural flavors, citric acid, and potassium sorbate to protect freshness. So let's get started on day 2 and see how it goes. All right, so just checking in, it is lunchtime now, around like 12, a little after 12:30. Not feeling too hungry right now. I basically spend the whole morning checking in with parents, getting ready for these e-parent conferences. So really too busy to be hungry right now. We'll see what happens later on today. But again, just kind of coasting. Not too energetic, but also not feeling too terrible either. Kind of baseline for me, so. Hey, so just an update. It's like around past 4:15. And I just got done with conferences, so it looks like I kind of missed lunch, but it's fine. It just means that I have more olives for later, I guess, because instead of eating snack, I'll just eat them with dinner. So here I have the minestrone soup. I'm gonna go ahead and take my NR1 pill, and I went ahead and I just refilled my bottle with some water, just water, and then I put the other tea bag in there. So we're all done with the L drink for the day. You only get one batch of L drink, but you get 2 tea bags, which is kind of nice. All right, so here's dinner for me tonight. Like I said before, I swapped out the mushroom soup for that minestrone soup earlier. I'm actually suddenly really happy that I still have these olives. Spearmint tea, and then we got this L bar that's always a winner. So that's day 2, pretty much done. So, it's pretty much the end of day 2, and feeling a little bit tired now. Not sure if that's from the diet or if it's just because I've been staring at a screen all day. So I am really glad that it's the end of day 2 though. Tomorrow's day 3, and now we're about to bring out the big guns, or take away the big guns. I don't know, depending on how you look at it. So here we go.